let's say one morning you wake up, probably a Monday morning, and you are deciding to go out and drive for Uber. And then all of a sudden you open up your account and you see a negative balance. Think to yourself, why would there be a negative balance in my account? And so you get hold of Uber and say, what is going on? And then they get back to you and say, well, you had a violation and we paid it for you, so we had to take it out of your pay. And that's exactly what is happening in some airports. And that's what we're talking about right now. Hey everyone, Chris here from Real Rideshare Stories. If you're new to the channel and you're looking for different things within the rideshare industry, whether it's updates to what's going on, news, tips and tricks for passengers and drivers, or what actually happens on real rideshare rides, start now by hitting that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Also make sure to check the description below for other helpful information and tips. So yes, many drivers in particular areas like LA are experiencing this constantly because they are dropping or picking people up at the airport, getting issued violations that they don't even know that they have until Uber takes it out of their pay, saying that they're paying a violation and you are solely responsible for it. But yet they don't tell you that you received a violation, and this could be a few months later. So what is going on here? And if you had this happen to you as a driver, comment below, let me know what kind of happened. If you could share the details, what was going on, how long that they said that this was, what actually happened. Comment below and let me know. All right, so this is the article that I'm going to be referencing from Business Insider, and it's titled, Uber drivers say the company is taking hundreds of dollars from their paychecks to pay airport-issued tickets the drivers didn't even know existed. And a link will be in the description below, so if you want to check this out, then you can. And it's still a pretty crazy article nonetheless. So some of the highlights from it, it just says that airports have been issuing tickets to Uber drivers without their knowledge, and the rideshare giant is paying for the citation fees from the drivers' paychecks, per a new motherboard report. Then thousands of U.S. rideshare drivers have been issued citations when picking up or dropping off airport passengers, amounting to Uber using millions of dollars out of drivers' paychecks to pay the fines. And contracts between Uber and airport entities allow for the company to compensate airports by deducting wages from driver, according to the report. Now, yes, you might be asking yourself, how is this even possible? Because aren't you allowed some sort of process where you can appeal the citations or violations or anything like that? Well, you would think, but that's not exactly what is happening. So it's going on and says Uber is taking wages from drivers' paychecks to cover airport-issued citations that were given to drivers without their knowledge, according to a new report from Motherboard's Lauren Gurley. Probably butchered that, sorry. Airports, including San Francisco International Airport and Los Angeles Airport, are reportedly issuing the tickets without informing the Uber drivers of the violation, which could include parking in a pedestrian zone for too long or not clearly displaying their Uber signage. Then, sometimes months later, the drivers have seen the citation amount deducted from their wages. Thousands of drivers are experiencing this, Motherboard reports. So from 2016 to 2019, the Los Angeles World Airports Authority, which oversees LAX, issued 11,117 citations to drivers, amounting to $3.8 million that Uber has pulled from drivers' paychecks and into the airport's pockets, per Mobile Workers Alliance data viewed by Motherboard. Now that right there is absolutely crazy. And the fact that they're just issuing these tickets and then just sharing that information with Uber, and then Uber probably just clicks a little button that says pay now, and the driver is the one who pays for it, yet the airport is the one who is making $3.8 million just from these violations, from these so-called violations. Let's say that right. One driver told Motherboard that he's had 4 $100 tickets taken out of his paychecks, all of which he never had a chance to appeal. Sometimes this means I had negative earnings and no money for gas, the driver told the outlet. I called Uber and they said, we can't do anything. So it says, per the report, the contracts in place between the airport and the company allow for Uber to pay the airports the amount they're due using driver wages. And yeah, that is shady, really shady. In an email sent from Uber to one of the drivers and viewed by the outlet, the company said it realizes the paycheck deduction will likely come as a surprise, but per your agreement with Uber, we must collect the violation amount from you. The violation amount will be deducted from your next pay statement. So yeah, they're not even telling him really what it is that's going on. It's just probably another generic email. And again, if you've had one of these tickets and you've had experience trying to communicate with Uber, if you had any of those emails and still have them, you want to send them to me so I can just see if they give you any information, or just comment below if they do give any information on what the possible violation is. Or are you just seeing violation and a deduction taken from your pay? Comment below, let me know with that, please. So it says, experts told Motherboard that drivers, just as ordinary citizens, have the constitutional right to be first notified of a citation issued against them and to also appeal it. Two actions they reportedly been deprived of. And yeah, you're supposed to be able to have the ability to appeal it. So this is pretty crazy that the fact that they're just issuing tickets to Uber, Uber is then in turn paying them out of drivers' pockets. This doesn't make any sense. This isn't the first instance in which gig workers for Uber have reported maltreatment from the rideshare giant. The company, as well as others like Lyft, have crafted their business models around classifying drivers as contractors. Reclassifying them as employees would majorly alter how they run their companies. Now, one of the things that California might be able to do is saying, well, if you're charging drivers and they don't have the right to appeal, maybe that's just more control that you have over them and you were wrongly classified and should be really an employee. So who knows exactly what's going to happen when it comes to that. That's a whole different topic, but you know, it's still one of those things that are tied in because again, it's just showing that control that Uber has over its drivers. So Uber, for example, has pushed back heavily on new gig worker law passed in California, requiring Uber drivers in the state to be classified as employees and not independent contractors, a motion Uber has refused to carry out. As a result, many drivers claimed they're collectively owed millions in back wages due to worker misclassification. So now this is really crazy what's going on. And then on top of that, again, 11,117 tickets or whatever it was over a 3-year period, totaling almost $4 million in additional income going straight to the airport from Uber drivers' pockets. That just seems pretty crazy because at that point, you could just hit a violation on anybody for any particular reason and know you're getting paid for it. So there has to be a lot more accountability when it comes to these airports, how they're operating, and maybe they should be going straight to the drivers instead of going to Uber where they know they're going to get paid for it, because it does have some problems and some issues when it comes down to it. First, you're taking pay right out of the driver's pocket. They don't even know that it's coming. And then again, they're not being able to appeal that violation or if they even know what the violation is. So this is pretty crazy what's happening. And again, this needs some sort of accountability when it comes down to it, because how many tickets were issued that weren't really tickets to begin with, but they were looking in additional revenue? So what are your thoughts on this? And also, again, for any drivers in the San Francisco and LA area, have you had this happen to you? Comment below, let me know what happened, as well as any of the thoughts that you may have when it comes to this. And then also for any other drivers out there, have you seen any violations or had any violations against you? How did that go? Because you probably were told by somebody working at the airport, and was there anything from it, or did you move? What actually happened? Comment below, let me know. And that's the end of this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified every time a new video is uploaded. Also, check the description below for other helpful information and tips. And as always, never drink and drive. Always tip your drivers, your delivery drivers, and your shoppers. And we'll see you next time.